YouTube is up. Oh my gosh, it's officially a stream if YouTube is up. Hi guys, welcome in. It's been a while. I'm Ellie if you're new. If you're on YouTube, hi. You're most likely watching the VOD or doing some sort of research on a topic that I covered today. But I'm so excited to get started. There is so much to talk about. I recently saw how Fox News covered sustainable fashion, which is something that I typically think is more of a liberal topic. I'm also going to be talking about anti-AI, especially because there's a lot of media around that right now, a lot of contentiousness revolving AI. And then I will be exploring other sustainable fashion events. It's going to be a super chill stream. I haven't streamed in quite a while. But if you don't know how the streams function, let me remind you. But basically, I function out of a Canva deck. I have a horrible memory, so this is what I use to remember what I'm going to discuss, and it's a preview for you guys to use as well. So if you can't stay throughout the entire stream, I totally understand that. It is up to you how long you want to stay, whether you want to listen to what I'm saying. And sometimes people just want like the basic idea and then leave. Oh my gosh, this mic. I got a new mic stand. I'm still working on it. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about Shein stuff. I'm going to be talking about this anti-AI media brand, how they release merch, and then talking about haute couture and their designs, and then Fox News, which I was touching on already, about how young Americans are learning how to sew. They cover that. So I want to analyze what that means for us as consumers and sewers and fashion lovers. I do want to talk about very local fashion designers using things that's already in existence. And then we're also going to be, okay, OBS, please don't do this right now. OBS issues, reconnecting, it's fine. And then we're going to be talking about other stuff. So that is kind of the preview. I haven't streamed in quite a while. I took a small break. I think streaming every day is incredibly difficult. I think it is very much a pressure cooker, especially as a young streamer, as a very new streamer. I'm not young by age, but I'm new as a streamer. I think it's just very difficult to hold that pressure, especially when you're used to like talking to one person or two people max. And then all of a sudden, by streaming every day, like things became very successful. Surprisingly, I just wanted to talk to at least like one person, and I had like 12 people coming in every day in the beginning of the stream. And that was very overwhelming. And then people, I think, just dumped a lot of stuff. And now it's like back to normal, which I really appreciate. But it just kind of like reminds me that success is like a wave. And I kind of didn't like the like some people that were in my community, specifically a one person, and that caused a lot of behind the scenes situations. But honestly, I'm kind of grateful they're gone. I think streaming is something that you don't have a lot of control over, because people will come and go, people will perceive you, people will judge you for who you are, and I get to decide who I want in my personal space and how that is carried out. Like, I want boundaries and I want rules, but I can't control who lurks. I can't control what they comment on my streams, but I can control it on different sites by deleting their stuff. So I'm not ashamed by anything that I've done, and I stand by my decisions and my values, and I really hope that my streams continue to be a place where people feel safe, and it's more of a cozy space more than anything. I think that reaching young adults, especially those that are teenagers starting in their career in fashion, and specifically in sustainable fashion, is what I really strive to do. And if there's negative members in my community, then I will remove them, even if it makes me seem rude, even if it makes me seem like the one that's out of place or out of touch. But I really do want this space to be a reflection of what I envision it and what I strive to do. And yeah, I'm just so excited to keep growing in the direction that I want to keep growing. Today I went to work from 10 to 6, and I was just working on so many different things to make that happen. I've learned not to really share a lot of my plans that openly anymore, because Yeah, people feel more entitled to impose themselves on me when I share my plans or I share my ideas, but like I like to brainstorm. So I'm gonna keep some of my plans to myself. I'm being very general with a lot of what I'm opening up with, but hopefully this personal update just kind of like gives you an idea of like where I've been at and like where I'm heading and stuff. But yeah, I'm just so excited to keep talking about sustainable fashion. There's symposiums that are coming up that I'm super excited to go. I want to collaborate with more sustainable fashion leaders in Chicago. So I was looking into that because they're more aligned to the audiences that I want to reach going forward, and also wondering like how I can get more direct experience in Twitch. So like maybe working with someone that I respect, and helping them. So there is a lot of ideas, but yeah, I'm reshifting. One streamer in particular that I really take inspiration by, his name is Adapt. He is a game streamer. He's a gamer, and he has pivoted a lot of times in his career, especially online. And I really took inspiration from him to like step away from streaming every day and to think about like how to approach what I was doing and like what mindset I wanted. And yeah, I think streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it's going to be a good balance. Reaching the people that I want to reach is going to be really important. And I think being very intentional with my space, with my time, is also really, really critical for me to like remain true to my values and my ethos. And if I have to be ruthless and like banning people and standing up for what I think is right, then call me ruthless. But I mean, with leadership and like with the things that I stand for, you just have to be very strict. And I didn't want what was becoming to become something consistent. So I have unorthodox methods, and I'm not going to go into details about what situations I'm talking about, but I'm an unorthodox person, and I think that's what it's going to take to change the fashion industry, which is my goal. It's to make the industry more sustainable, to tackle the things on a legislative level. I think laws at the end of the day will be what saves the industry and saves basically the planet. But until we get there, we're stuck with landfills and textile waste and the mess that I'm almost throwing up over. But to finish off the personal updates, which I will keep very short going forward, I have been learning how to play Minecraft, which is so fun. I played it for the first time yesterday. I actually jumped on stream yesterday. I ruined everybody's stream streak. If you were there, that's cool. But like, I had no idea what I was doing. It was fun. I don't really play games. And what else did I do? Oh, I bought a hard drive so that I can edit at work because my job is so freaking chill. And then, what else did I do? I just took a lot of time to like relax. I'm focusing a lot too on Depop. Depop is so important to me right now. I think focusing more energy on Depop versus streaming is essential to my long-term success, because streaming is not like my goal whatsoever. I just find it really fun to like talk to people that care about me and care about my opinion and hearing me out, and then they learn something. So I'm not an expert. I don't claim to like be anyone in the industry. I'm just like someone that likes to talk about the news and share moments and like share reflections, and then if you resonate, right? But hopefully you like to spend time learning and thinking about this stuff as well. But yeah, working a lot on Depop to fund this, and then working a lot, editing a lot, trying to make YouTube videos be a consistent thing every Sunday, which I really struggle with. And then what else? Yeah, I think that was it. I just had a very chill 5 days off of not streaming every day. I really like it. And I'm not surprised that no one is showing up, because I pissed a lot of people off, but it's fine. I literally, it's literally the thing that I wanted. I created it by design. I'm not dumb. I know what the impact was from my decisions. I knew exactly what I was doing. So I'm excited for a fresh start and to keep growing. I literally streamed for a whole year with no one chatting. It was just me for a whole year, so I'm totally fine, like technically restarting. But yeah, that was kind of like the update. I am so excited to talk about Lottie Ashley. Lottie Ashley has been doing a lot of great, amazing videos, and she does such a good job on shorts. Holy moly, I need to get to the point where she is at, because my goodness, I learned so much from her, and there's so little YouTubers and content creators in general who make good content around sustainable fashion. So I am taking a lot of notes from her. I'm looking at what she's doing and being like, okay, that worked, but that didn't work. I like that, but I didn't like that. I'm such a baby content creator, so I can like learn and take away from so many different people. I don't know if this even, why is it not, it didn't copy and paste right. What the heck? Lottie Ashley. Okay. Surely it'll pop up now. Okay, there she is. I actually will be reaching out to her to like have her on my podcast. I'm actually editing a podcast that I did like months ago. It connects idea of fashion with politics, and it was centered around a Latina, such a baddie Latina who wants to actually run for office one day. So I still haven't got into that podcast, but I will be reaching out to her for sure very soon. Okay. Wait, where did the video go? I thought I saved the link. Where's the link at? Dang. Hold. Did she delete her video? Okay, maybe let's just go to TikTok. She didn't upload it as a short. Where is it? Okay, there it is.
Stop before you click buy on your Shein order. Here's a list of their recent offences. Shein created the brand Misery, that's faking being an independent Manchester-based fashion brand to convince you to buy Shein without knowing it's Shein. Shein recently bought Everlane, an eco-friendly, sustainable brand. Who knows what's going to happen with that brand? Shein have continued to steal designs and photos from small brands, and they've had major copyright lawsuits filed against them. Shein disturbingly created sex dolls that had young people features. I'm not going to go into details because it's so grim. Basically, the French watchdog saw these dolls being sold and were like, you can't do that, and stopped them. With all this recent controversy, people still buy from Shein, but there is a silver lining. Shein's net profit fell by 39% last year. Being so honest, I think we've all been tricked by Shein and maybe bought from them. I once bought from them in 2016 when I thought they were like a cool new brand. I didn't know much about fast fashion. I bought from them, the clothes arrived, I realized they were terrible quality, and then I started doing research into fast fashion and how it was so unethical, and my mind was just exploded, and I've had guilt ever since because I bought from Shein. I'd love to know what you think about all these Shein offences, and let me know, have you ever been tricked by Shein too? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video for more fashion deep dives and secondhand and slow fashion content. Stop before you click.
Dude, she's so awesome. I love her freaking outfit. The thing is, I love how she presents the question at the end, like, have you ever experienced an offense by Shein? Which I think we have if we have bought fast fashion, whether intentionally or unintentionally, because Shein is in thrift stores everywhere. But I wonder what people said in the comments. They said they replicated over 20 of my designs. It was so violating. This is something actually really common that I see on TikTok all the time. It's like small designers that are up and coming, super creative, and then they get their freaking designs copied. It's so frustrating. It happens. I see those videos all the freaking time. I should actually do a compilation and like do a video, because it's incredibly sad and frustrating. Someone else had said, I used to buy from Shein when I was in high school and didn't know how evil they were. I do have a couple of pieces from back then that I do still love and wear all the time, but I would never purchase from them now. I hate what they are and what they stand for. I feel like a lot more people are becoming aware of the damages of Shein. I cover the issues of Shein extensively on these streams. I'm not going to go in detail right now for the sake of time, but they are just they're very insidious. I should probably have some links at the ready in the future just to like drop them in the chat so people can like look at the articles or like the latest updates about what they're doing. But yeah, to give a general picture, they've been trying to enter like the French market. They've been trying to enter the Japanese market. They've been rejected left and right because a lot of countries don't want their presence in their country. But yeah, they're notorious for exploiting workers for 10 to 12 hours a day. They don't pay their workers enough. They overproduce way too much. And that's just a general picture, but there's so much more within fast fashion that I can talk about. Lucy in this video says, the day I buy anything from Shein, even if I buy it secondhand from them like Vinted or a charity shop, is the day I demand my loved ones to do a mental health check on me. I actually was seeing a lot of Shein. I went to the bins this Sunday and there was so much Shein. It was devastating. Like people just buy it and then just store it away so fastly. Someone else was saying, proud to say I've never bought from Shein because I didn't know it existed. Oh, I've never thought about that, and that some people don't know what Shein is. So this must be her like first exposure to Shein, hearing the offences. Terry says, I heard the other day that if you wouldn't wear Shein secondhand, why are you buying it brand new? And that hit hard. If you wouldn't wear Shein secondhand, why would you buy it new? I feel like that's the assumption that it's not going to last long. And if you're not going to buy it used, why buy it new? Okay, I don't really understand that one. Maybe people should try buying more secondhand items, is like the point that she's making. But there's also an assumption there, like people that thrift also buy from Shein, which can happen. Or vice versa. Though I don't know what she's saying. This one's confusing. If you wouldn't wear Shein secondhand, why are you buying it brand new? Okay, that one is not. maybe we'll move on for now. I'll move on. It says, I love the way you pronounce Shein. I remember back then the brand was called She Inside, and they were renamed, and then they renamed themselves. That's why I assumed it's pronounced She In, like She Inside, and not Shein. Oh my god, Rose is like on the pronunciation thing. I don't even know if I've been saying Shein wrong. Shein or Shein? Shein? I hate when people like correct my pronunciations because I have a speech impediment and it's become a joke for some people, but like this kind of like irks me that like there's so much focus on pronunciations. Like what does it freaking matter? But it's good to know that they used to be called She Inside. It's good to know. Cam says, I bought from them once. I got a few tops, a dress, a skirt, and a pair of leggings. I still have 90%, 95% of it, except the leggings because they gave me a rash. Lodi says she got a rash from it too. Dang. But yeah, I love her videos. I think it's so important to like discuss this and take away the impacts of fashion on a very critical level. I do have to do more shorts. I like the graphics that she uses. I wonder what templates she incorporates into her TikToks. Wait, what's this one?
You know when you can't sleep at 2 a.m. and you're thinking about the climate crisis, and in your head you list your recent impact, like that one plastic coffee cup that you recently used, the ChatGPT search that you did, and the haul you recently got from a fast fashion company. Wait, how much does fast fashion actually impact climate change? Every year, the fast fashion industry produces over 100 billion garments, despite there only being like 8 billion people on the earth. The equivalent of one rubbish truck full of textile waste and clothes is sent to landfill every single second. Over 60% of clothes is made from synthetic materials, like polyester, which requires loads of oil to produce. The fast fashion industry is estimated to be responsible for 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Often when people have this conversation, they lay the blame at the individual consumer or the corporation. But I don't think it's one or the other. I think it's a mix of both. Corporations need to do better, and they need to actually not greenwash us and create swathes of clothes that consumers then buy. And as consumers, we should become more informed so we can put pressure on the companies I've done a long form YouTube video covering all of the facts, and you can find the link in my bio. I'd love to know, do you think the environmental impact of fast fashion should be blamed on individuals, corporations, or a bit of both? You know when you can't...
I think it's not individuals at all to blame. I feel like it's fully the brands. When brands try to blame it on the individual, you know we're kind of like doomed. And when individuals are like, oh, it's the individual's fault, no, it's not. So, like, I would be so careful to be like, oh my god, how dare you for buying fast fashion? Like, it's not, it's not the people's fault. I mean, they are buying the items, but, like, they're not at fault whatsoever for the system that they're in. So, I definitely would be careful about how we're addressing the blame. Because I'd be seeing sustainable fashion lovers be like, oh my god, how dare you buy fast fashion, and we're all doomed. Let's target the brands here. The brands are the enemy here, not anyone else. Okay, let us move on. I do want to see one more video because she is so informative. Her videos are legit like the best. So we're gonna go over to, which one did I see? The climate cost of fast fashion explained is a really good one. She just made this video 10 days ago. I'm not sharing my screen. There you go.
How clean is your underwear? Conventional underwear can contain toxic dyes, harsh chemicals.
Fast fashion and climate change are often talked about as two separate issues. One's a fashion problem and the other is an environmental problem. But the more I research this topic, the more I realise that they are deeply connected. The climate crisis isn't just about oil companies, cars or aeroplanes. It's also about the way we produce, consume and dispose of everyday products, including our clothes. And the scale of impact is so enormous. Lock in for these facts. The fast fashion industry is estimated to be responsible for up to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. And over 60% of clothing made is made from synthetic materials like polyester, which requires millions of barrels of oil to produce, and it releases significant carbon when manufactured. And according to the Elaine MacArthur Foundation, the equivalent of one rubbish truck of textiles is sent to landfill or burned every single second. Let's pause to think about that for a moment. I started awkwardly giggling because that fact shocks me to my core. And I would laugh at a funeral because I just giggle when I'm uncomfortable. So, if you think about it, by the time you finish watching this video, countless truckloads of clothing will have been thrown away somewhere in the world. I don't think it's just about clothing, it's also about a system, and it's a system built around continuous growth, constant production and constant consumption. There's a lot of conversations that we have online as to whether it's the consumers being the problems or the corporations being the problems. But I really think it's more complicated than that. The fashion industry has built a system that encourages overconsumption, a system designed to make us buy more, wear less and constantly chase new. But at the same time, the system only works if we participate in it. Understanding how fast fashion contributes to climate change isn't about assigning blame. It's about understanding how the system works. Hi, I'm Lottie. I talk about secondhand and slow fashion on the internet. You may have seen me on Instagram and TikTok, but now I come to you on YouTube where we're going way more in depth into a lot of the content that I've been talking about online for the last 2 years. I wanted to cover this topic because I feel like during this current heat wave, we are currently thinking about who is to blame. I think it's a lot of tiny things, and I think being informed as consumers can help us move forward and get corporations to act and actually make a change. But also being informed as consumers can get us to think more about the purchases before we buy into a system that we don't believe in. Or maybe you believe in a fast fashion system. All thought processes are welcome here. We're open to all ideas in the comments. Tell me your thoughts and feelings, and I just want to inform us all a bit more in the video and talk about my favourite subject. I don't know why in life my favourite topic is secondhand and slow fashion and learning all of the facts for everything ever surrounding sustainability. But
Dude, I feel like we would get so well along. Like, I feel like we would just connect so well because she is thinking about the issues on a systemic level. And she's analyzing, okay, like, who is actually to blame and, like, how do we think about this, especially because of the climate crisis. She is not as direct and like, honest as me. I feel like she's going in a little bit of a circle talking about it, but I think that was just an intro. That was a long intro, 2 minutes of an intro. I feel like I become content brained or content pilled because people were saying, oh, you need to like get to the point in 20 seconds. She took her time. She took almost 3 minutes to get to the point to introduce herself. So I kind of like that. She's taking a moment to like talk about things and theorize and then present her ideas and introduce herself. So I feel like everybody has a different route. Everybody has a different route of making videos, but I like how she does her videos, even though it does take her 3 minutes to talk about systemic change in the industry. But I like it. I do like it. I'm just like, I feel like there's a pressure to perform now on YouTube where everything has to be captured in like a minute.
It is, and we're here, and we're making a YouTube video. So what is fast fashion actually selling? And I've covered this before in the psychology of buying fast fashion. I'll link the video above. But to lightly cover it, I think most people think fast fashion is just about cheap clothes. It's not just an item, it's selling us this feeling. I think if people bought fast fashion clothes only when they needed them, the industry would look very different. So I'm going to show you two types of consumers, and one would mean that the industry is completely like transformed, and then one is just over consumption core.
I come up with the perfect fashion must-have so you can be the chicest girl in the room this spring and summer. Cute pair of big sunnies. You can't tell me this is not so chic. Everybody needs a cute pair of big sunglasses. I splurged on mine, but you don't really have to. You can find a cute pair of big sunnies really like anywhere. Sunglasses are a really good investment if you don't lose them. Quarter-length sleeve tops are the most like chic basic that you can own. Cuckoo Intimates make the cutest quarter-length boat neck top. I own it in white and it's like one of my favorite tops. Princess Polly has one in a bunch of colors and it fits so good. I have it in black. Every girl needs two pairs of kitten heels in their
I've actually never bought anything from Princess Polly, but I've heard a lot about them. I've seen the sandals so much. The sandals are everywhere. And these shoes too, they must hurt so much. The open back. Oh my goodness. I feel like, okay, she went straight into watching videos of fast fashion. Okay, I wonder when she's gonna start theorizing. Let's go over here.
Factories they know nearby. That's one.
We need stories. We need stories to understand ourselves.
Not it's
One reason why sometimes people notice quality differences even with very similar.
I've seen these videos where they go to the garment industry where they make the fast fashion stuff and they show the garment workers, and I think this is China.
Their products. For fast fashion, speed matters more than almost everything. The faster products reach customers, the faster trends can be turned into sales.
So this video is kind of giving us the vibe that Shein's better than everyone else. I don't think that. But I do think it gives you an insight into the scale of the industry and the impact of the industry, because all of those garment factories, you could see all of those massive machines working really hard to produce the fashion. Environmentally, you can see all of those massive machines working, and they're quite big, so they're using a lot of electricity to run. There's a lot of water and there's a lot of materials being used within those companies. One of the biggest misconceptions about climate change is that emissions only come from obvious sources like cars, flights, power plants. But when
No, it's fast fashion. There's so much being used by the production of clothing. Well, I want to see if anyone commented anything in the video. 2 comments. Oh, Androgynous Fatel says, I have a business and I'm always worried about creating futile things because I don't want to make things that people perceive are trash or overproduce, things nobody's cherishing. Someone else says, clothing waste and overconsumption is a big issue and clothing quality goes down, forcing people to buy clothes more often. If you've been buying from the same place for years, you can feel it, but you're just used to the shop and probably keep coming back. Oh, they're a loyal consumer. Huh. I feel like I've never been a loyal consumer to anything, to be honest. I'm not really loyal to anyone or anything, which may be an issue, but that is just my tendency, because I feel like things can always get better or things can always change to a different way. I don't know. I'm always constantly trying to improve stuff. So, like, if something's bad, whether it's clothing or, like, the community or whatever, like, I'm just gonna, like, try to get to a better place, a better situation. It's just sometimes you have to like remove yourself from what's comfortable or what you're like familiar with to like enter a new room. So like I feel like if you're used to fast fashion, have the courage to go shop at a local thrift store. It's actually really quite daunting for a lot of people, because I remember my friend, she had never shopped at a secondhand store, never gone to a thrift store. And I told her to go thrifting. She said, no, I don't know. I don't even know like what's going to be in there. I need help. Can you come with me? And it was one of the last days of my senior year of college. And I was supposed to meet a professor where we were gonna have a debrief discussion about me co-founding a Latinx poetry club in college with one of my peers and aka best friends at the time. And I was like, okay, which one do I choose? Do I choose to join my friend at a thrift store, or do I talk to a professor that supported my creation of a Latinx poetry club with my peer? I chose the thrift store, and then I didn't even tell my friend, my poetry friend, that I was not going to show up to the meeting, and I didn't answer any of her texts because I just I lost track of time. I forgot because I was so busy at the thrift store. But that's just where my head is at. Like, I love thrift stores. I love the adventure of helping people out, exploring that. So it was just so nice. And like, I explained to my friend, like, okay, this is like where the clothing's at, and this is where the books are at. And we just had like a really fun time, like putting things on. It was cool. I loved it. It was fun. All right. But yeah, if you have never thrifted and you know someone that thrifts in your life, hit them up. I'm sure that they will like the company. If they don't, I don't know what's wrong with them. Maybe don't be their friend. But I do want to talk about the next thing, which is this. So Aphorism is a brand that I recently discovered. They are the biggest anti-AI media community, or at least that's what they call themselves. And they actually released a merch. So let's look at this. I did discover them on Instagram. Okay? Hate me for it. Hate me for covering. Hate me for discovering and covering something from Instagram. But yeah, I saw this post and I was like, wait, that's actually so cool, because it says the tech bros got mad at our last anti-AI clothing drop, so this time we went all in. So they have this hoodie. It says, nice prompt. Did your mommy help you write it? Oh, that's so funny. Representing humans was another one. This one says, art is the fingerprint of the human soul. An algorithm has no skin in the game, which I actually really like. I really like this one. I would maybe buy this one, but I don't need more clothing. Embrace human creativity. This one's a normal one. It just says their name brand, Aphorism. Another random shirt. I wonder how they produce this. That's the thing. Like, is this fast fashion, but in the name of anti-AI? That would be interesting. But yeah, 12 pieces, 4 new statements, 0 prompts. I do want to know more information about the artists that made it, but they only have 1,000 units. And I found that so interesting because I've never heard of the idea of an anti-AI media group or media community until I saw this. And I think it's run by one person because they were talking in first person. Look, in their caption it says, my last drop, my first one, was only 2 months ago. They had 50,000 followers, and now they say 2 months later we are at 100K. When I started this page, I had no expectation from it because it was my millionth time starting one. I never imagined having such a connected and creative community who are against generative AI. So she has had a lot of success on this. It's just I wonder how it was actually produced. Because if you're perpetuating fast fashion in the name of anti-AI, that's a major hypocritical statement or action, to be honest. I do want to look at their website because the post was very general. Wait, what? This one, $40. More details? Does it say how? Okay, it's 100% combed cotton. Interesting. What does combed cotton mean? I've never heard of combed cotton. Does it say how it was produced? No. but they do say that quality is guaranteed. What if this is just like a money scheme? What if they're like, oh, I know they hate AI, so let me just do some quick merch to like capture the fame that I'm getting, and then I can make my money that way. Because there's nothing else on the website. It's just basically an Instagram page that went viral, and now they're selling merch. I'm not saying they're sus, it's just the production of the clothing is not there. So, but I do love like the information that they're doing. Like they're reporting on a lot of different things that are very relevant for our current times where AI is just like freaking everywhere. And they're funny. Like they're covering weird cat poses. Yeah, it's funny, but I don't know about the merch. Dude, these photos are so funny. What am I looking at? It's more like a meme account than anything. I was looking through some of the older posts, but I didn't see the memes that I just saw right now. I love like very unique accounts that are just so random. This one is definitely funny. But yeah. Oh god. So what sorry, I was laughing about something else. I also saw this post which really made me think about like what's possible with community and like fashion. I feel like fashion often enough is like something that we think is individualist. Like we think it's only us at the sewing machine or us like trying to understand things on our own. But I think fashion can be something that brings people together. Like I've heard older generations, like grandmas, especially in what's it called, nursing homes. They come together, they sew, they knit, they embroider together, and it's like a whole thing where they like just are able to chat with each other. Otherwise, they would be very lonely. I've been so tempted to go to to hang out with grandmas because I feel like they have my interests and they have like my values. I feel like the generation my age are just kind of like not that aligned. So I don't know. I've been so tempted to hang out with older people. But I saw this post and it kind of reminded me of that. But this says, meet the group of Spanish women who crocheted a massive canopy for their town to replace plastic covers. Whoa, isn't that so beautiful? I think that's so freaking beautiful. Look at that. And then they hang it. Dude, what? And it protects you from the shade. Isn't that gorgeous? That must have taken so much effort. I don't know how to crochet. I wish I did. This is really inspiring, though. It says in the town of Alaruin de la Torre in southern Spain has replaced its traditional plastic street awnings with a massive hand crochet canopy that covers over 500 square meters of its main shopping district. Led by local teacher Eva and a group of dozens of women, the project began in 2019 as a more environmentally friendly and artistic alternative to plastic, using recycled fabric and plastic thread to create intricate geometric patterns. And the tarp has now been cooling the streets by up to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, while featuring diverse designs ranging from local flags to the faces of Hollywood icons like Marilyn Monroe. Dude, I love this so freaking much. I'm so inspired. I want to do everything under the moon. I want to learn how to crochet. I want to learn how to like design clothing on Cloud 3D. I want to like learn how to play bass guitar. I just do not have the time for everything. I want to make amazing YouTube videos. I want to be a TikToker. I want to stream all the time. I just have to pick and choose. I want to be a Depop reseller. I want to be a thrift store owner. It's crazy. I feel like I don't have enough lives. But one of the things that I was really inspired by as well this week, and maybe you guys will become inspired by it too, is the world of sustainable haute couture. You would assume that haute couture is like more sustainable because it's handmade. And it should be. It's just that shouldn't be always a assumption, because some things they never tell us how it's made, and then we're like, wait, what? What's the story behind this? And then you discover exploited garment workers, and then you discover they use really harmful fabrics, but it's haute couture. But this is not the case. So I'm going to be discussing The Call of the Void, which was a collection by Schiaparelli. I cannot say that brand. Schiaparelli. I don't really care how to say it, to be honest. But we're going to specifically take a look. We're going to specifically take a look at this jacket that took 11,288 real flowers to make, and it took 2,779 hours of work to do. And I looked it up on the website. Sorry, I looked up the website. And like the pieces are so beautiful. Like the whole collection is peak. It's so freaking amazing. Like the jacket, holy moly. I love that jacket so much. With the details on there. If you like zoom in, you can really see like what? That is so beautiful. With the shoulder detail. Oh my god. And this tummy moment. What? Look at the pants. And then the shoes are so beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's a little bit more of like a masculine look, to be honest, but I like it. I like when the feminine can embody some masculine. So here's a back. Dude, the hair is so cool too. Like, look at that hair. And then the skirt. Oh, it's so good. But this is not the jacket that I wanted to talk. This is not the jacket. That's just look number 6. But look at this dress. Holy moly. Isn't it gorgeous with the jewel detail? The slay. It's laying. Oh my gosh, it's lovely. It's very unique. In my latest YouTube video, I was saying I love surrealistic pieces, but also having some pragmatic or practical elements. This is like what I mean. It's kind of like not what you normally see in the streets. It's not a normal look, right? But it's like efficient. Like you can still wear it. You can still be beautiful in it, and you can still be unique. Like this is what I mean, like of pragmatic surrealism. It's built different. I like it. This is look number 7. A dress and a dress. At the front, there's a bustier dress embroidered with a silver thread, satin stitch, brocade, pearls, seashells, and rhinestones. And at the back, there's a micro pleated dress in white crepe. I don't know how to say that word. Jersey, revealing an anatomical corset for I cannot read. An anatomical corset forming a surreal face. I haven't even seen the back. Oh my god, not the back. Holy moly, I love it so much. Oh my gosh, what? This is cool. Is that like an extra cushion for her? I feel like that would be so fun to sit down on. A little extra cushion on there. Dude, I love that so much. What? How much is it? $5,000. This one is so cool too. We should probably just watch the show. But okay, I'm gonna focus on the jacket. The jacket that I want to talk about, that's the sustainable one. It's this one. So this is a sculptural jacket embroidered with fish scales, hand-painted ribbons and flowers, and finished with a sculptural bow. The jacket required more than 11,288 flowers and 2,779 hours of work. It is worn with a bias cut skirt in sheer pale lavender silicone and matching embroidered panties. There's nude satin sandals with a curved heel, a rhinestone charm, and more leather soles. And what? And more leather soles? And mirrored leather soles. What? Dude, this jacket is everything. And the pants with it? Holy moly. It's such a unique look. And it's so well made to her body. Like, it fits perfectly on the shoulder. It just lays right. And the way that it, like, emphasizes her hips is crazy. So this is super amazing. It's just 2,000 plus hours of work. How many days is that? There's a lot of days. And then here's the back. What? Whoa. I wish I could zoom in even more. This is the most I can zoom in. Yeah, this is the most I can zoom in. But I wish I could just get a better angle of it. Especially because it took so much time to make. We should definitely look at the fashion show. And then we'll move on to a different topic. But I don't even know if if it's on YouTube. Fashion vlog. A day in my life as a vintage reseller. Wait, I gotta watch that one. I am looking for all the vintage resellers out there on YouTube. If you're a small vintage reseller, or reseller in general, I am scouting you. Collaborate with me.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Or whenever you're watching this, it's morning. No, it's
Dude, I love her so much. Already. Wait, I already subscribed to her. Okay, no wonder it's on my thing.
not this afternoon. It's afternoon for me on Sunday. And I should be resting, but there's no rest for...
There's no rest under late-stage capitalism. Okay. Wait, is it this one? No, that's Christian Dior. Schiaparelli. Let's see. Where is it? Schiaparelli. Am I saying that right? I'm just butchering it. I'm just butchering the names here. Okay, let me copy and paste because I don't even know how to spell Schiaparelli. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying I'm gonna stop saying the name. But I do want to watch the show, dude. That's gonna be so much fun. That didn't work. Why is it not typing? Hello? Shia. Okay, let's see. What pops up? Is it this one? I think we found it. No, this is a month ago. Was it really a month ago that this came out?
Watching artists and makers less talented than you succeed while you're barely surviving.
Yes, we're barely surviving under this bad economy. This bad economy. I don't like this economy. I think it's this one, no? Here, let me check. Let me zoom through. I'll put the audio, I swear. It's just... Let me check. I think it's this one, no? I don't think it's fall and winter. It should be this one. Yeah, it should be this one. Also, fair warning, YouTube, this may affect copyright stuff because they're so picky with music. YouTube is so picky with music. So if anything happens to this live stream, just know that I'm streaming on Twitch. My username is Ellie Rose HQ. It's a link in my description. So Ellie Rose HQ, go to that the Twitch if this just doesn't work anymore. Okay, let's get into it.
When you're driving up along a highway, along a cliffside, and you have the sudden urge to turn the wheel and drive the car off into the cliff. It's l'appel du vide, the call of the void. And it describes that temptation or that call into something unknown, wanted to do something that I couldn't name. I wanted to do something that I couldn't figure out. Cancel your plans, become your dress, become your bustier, become your trousers.
Wait, why does this look like milk? Well, that doesn't look... It looks like latex, actually. It looks like shiny latex milk. Yep. I like it, but it's kind of interesting and weird at the same time. It's off-putting, but interesting. I like it, though. It's good.
The other thing, too, that became a mantra is this idea that we are light beings having a human experience.
Oh, philosophy. Just philosophizing, huh?
There's also the concept of the second self. The self that we present to the world versus the self that the freak show that you really are inside.
Wait, this is the jacket that I was loving, and then this is a dress. I wanna see the jacket one more time. It's just the guy talking is kind of sussing me out. I don't really want to think about philosophy right now. The second self? Who is that? This dress is everything.
People sometimes ask me where the inspiration comes from, and it's different every season. It's not something that, it's not a formula. But something happened at the end of last season, at the end of Agony and Ecstasy. I went out to take the bow. We were in a dark room at the Petit Palais. Beautiful moment. And as I was leaving,
Oh my god, that one's beautiful. It kind of looks like hair. All these are beautiful, but okay, again, different, unique, but kind of off-putting. But I like it. I personally like it. Other people may not like it, but this one is so fun. I like how it's jumping. It looks like hair.
Turned around to walk off stage, or walk off the set. I turned around to walk off the set.
That was a big sniff.
And I had a literal vision.
What is he talking about?
Of what this season was going to look like.
Whoa, that's Catwoman. That's No, that's an octopus. Cat octopus.
I saw
Cactopus.
I saw the silver chrome.
Silver chrome,
I saw
huh?
this need to invert the entire formula from last season. And it was a rare moment that the minute the last show had finished.
Whoa. Look at that. What?
I am when you gave it.
No. Guys, I'm just a person with normal YouTube, and we're forced to think about basketball right now. We're in the middle of a fashion show. Oh, wait, it's for a good cause. Never mind. Great cause. Okay, back to this great cause. Yes, great cause. What? That's so beautiful.
Couture starts to feel less like
Whoa.
clothes. It starts to feel like it's a mirror in and of itself to where we are in culture. The most agonizing part of the process is done on a personal level, which is really asking the question, what is our eye hungry to see in an age and in a day or an era where our eyes are so exhausted from seeing so much? What can we put in front of people, and even what can we put in front of ourselves? The beauty of SCAP is that we're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to inspire you. We're trying to connect with you.
Did he just say they're not trying to sell us anything? Brother, who are you lying to? I don't care how many philosophical memos you give us over a show. You are selling us the clothing, brother. Who are you talking to? The whole point of the collection is to sell us clothing. We're not trying to sell you anything, bro. A fashion show equals marketing of clothing. Yes, you can get inspired, obviously. It can be a byproduct, but essentially, they're there to buy. Which is something I wish wasn't true, mind you. But this is essentially showing your products, is it not?
It's agenda free other than that. There is no commercial, the commercial success that we're having as a brand is happening naturally and organically. This is such a beautiful chapter of that.
What is happening with the voice? God, I need to mute this. The capitalism is happening, or the capitalism is happening naturally and organically, but he sounds like a robo man. The sales are happening naturally. Like, bro, what? Why is he sounding like this too?
House, or such a specific moment and such a beautiful size and era. When I think about the brands that inspired me to come into fashion, you know, that was 30 years ago, or the memory of brands past when they were smaller, when they were more design-led, more creatively led. And I think if you look at the timeline of SCAP, that's the era in which SCAP is in right now. Grateful for a team that has supported and followed a vision, even in the not knowing. Because when we're in fittings, or when we're in a review, or when to be a creative director.
Is that a light coming out of her thing? Does anyone else think this is latex? It just looks like latex. It looks kind of cheap in my eyes, but maybe it's because I'm not used to the material, and like, I love innovation, right? But the latex is throwing me off a bit, just a little bit. I love it, but it's just, I'm thrown off a little bit. And then the lights just kind of made me question everything right now. Do I actually like it? Yes, I do, but like the lights, what's the lights?
The the expectation is that you exercise conviction, decisiveness, that you know the answer.
Yes, I see a lot in my life. Why am I stuttering so much? I notice a lot that I piss a lot of people off for being like very honest and very straightforward. If I acted like I did as a man, oh my god, I think it would be so much more accepted. But as a female, especially from my background, I think a lot of people hate me for it. And I break a lot of gender stereotypes. Like a lot of guys too kind of question my legitimacy. But like because I'm so like ruthless and like what I want, I typically like get the leadership role, and like people listen to me because of it, because I'm the only one actually putting the effort in the room. Like you can yap and yap and yap, you can have a million opinions, but if you don't take action, then you're gonna like miss out on opportunities. Or I'm like very ready to like step in and like do what's needed, and that takes me far. But I've noticed that a lot of people that just want to talk and talk and talk and are not very assertive and not very honest, they start to hate me because of it. And I'm like, like, what is happening? But like, if I swear, if I was a man, if I was a white man, they would love me, they would respect me, because that's kind of expected of them, to lead and to like have big opinions and to be critical. But they see someone else that doesn't look like a white man and they're like, what is happening? Should we actually listen to her? But I'm too busy like actually doing stuff to care about what your opinions are. I don't know, that just brought something up to me in my head. Like, women can be strong, empowered, straightforward, honest, and be leaders. If you don't like that, that's your problem. I can't change it.
And there's been many times this season where I really haven't known the answer. And I've been so grateful for a team that has stuck with me and stuck with the vision of this season, even in the not knowing. So that's the thing. It's such a luxury to ask questions. It's a luxury to not know.
Is it a luxury to not know? What is a luxury? Questions? What? That's the jacket. Okay, that's the jacket. Whoa. 2,000 hours.
We are existing outside of the machinery.
We are existing outside of the machinery. Da di da da di da 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 da.
Building desire through connection, through creativity.
I think I'm gonna mute this man. Maybe he'll stop talking eventually.
Schiaparelli is a house where you can still ask questions. There are collections that are statements and declarations. This is how people should look. This is how you should wear clothes. This is what it is. This is blah, blah, blah. It's much more challenging to be asking questions in a season rather than making statements. And the beauty of SCAP right now is that we are still a size when we can afford to ask questions, which is weirdly such a luxury. Like the luxury of being offline. luxury of not knowing, I think has become really important for me. And I also think I've been,
Wow, these are so beautiful. These are like just so gorgeous. That one in particular was amazing. It's like a fairy tale. What? I love it. I love it. I love it. Isn't like the mirror stuff so gorgeous too? Like the way it reflects the ceiling. Oh my god, look at this one. You can see her freaking abs. Like the abs are captured in that. Oh my gosh, never make me a model because I would be so self-conscious. Wow. I love the details. You can see the line on her stomach through the thing. Or it is the thing. Again, I don't know what the material. It's like a clay spandex. Wait, what that looks like a different material than the latex. It's more muted. Is that? I don't know what that is. I want to know how they made this. The man. Whoa. W fashion. Okay, that was a good collection. I really like that one. That was so fun to watch. What the heck? And like the good thing is the website like literally shows you how everything was made, basically. Like it gives you a backstory. Let me look at this one. Look 30. Glowing dress featuring a molded bustier. White glaze porcelain effect silicone. Oh, silicone. White glaze porcelain effect silicone. That's what it was. Huh. With a razor back and lacing detail. In mirrored fringes. Embroidered with a white to mirror sfumato gradient. Okay, there's some words in there that I do not know. Okay, that's good. That's good. It gives us the details. What other one did I... Okay, this one is super cool. Look 28. Bustier dress featuring a glazed pale blue silicone molded bodice and a skirt embroidered with stretch tulle flower and a pale blue. Okay, that's so nice. What? Dude, fashion is so beautiful. And then the thing is, like, I'm so in love with fashion, and then I see Fox News cover stuff, and then I'm like back to a bad vibe. I'm like, dang it. Things were so nice, and now I have to deal with reality because fashion is political, and we must question, why is Fox News covering stuff? Like, they covered the New York Sewing Center. Let us look that up. I saw it on Instagram, and I was trying to look up the YouTube video, the full YouTube video, and I could not find it. So we're stuck with this.
Transforms the workplace. More young Americans are looking to learn hands-on skills. Lydia Hu joins us now from a sewing center in New York with more. Hey there, Lydia.
Hey there, Brian. I am concentrating super hard because I'm sewing. I'm turning this fabric into, Christine, hold up what we're making here, these super cute skirts. And it's all part of the brainchild genius of Christine Frayling, who is the founder of the New York Sewing Center right here in Midtown Manhattan. Christine, you were telling me there's been tremendous demand for your classes, tons of young people and not so young people coming to learn how to sew. Why do you think that is?
You know, we're in an age now where screens are constantly everywhere. You literally have your phone on you at every second. And as you can see, literally no phones are out right now or when you're sewing. So you have actual time to put away your phone and just create and focus and do something.
It's like a digital detox. You can't think about anything else. You've been in business for 12 years, which is a triumph unto itself, so kudos on that. But you recently got attention from shark investor Barbara Corcoran. She's partnering with you. How does that feel to have this moment, and what's going to come next for the Sewing Center?
It's absolutely incredible. You know, as I built this company, you know, it became bigger and bigger over time. And then right at the moment I met Barbara, I was really ready to scale this business and make it and take it to the next level. And who better to do that with than Barbara Corcoran, you know, a master at franchising and scaling businesses. So we're beyond excited to have her in our corner.
It's so cool because she makes these very approachable classes. So for just $95 in 2 hours, you can figure out.
Wait, the classes are $95? Holy moly.
And learn how to sew a skirt and
for $95 for 2 hours, you can learn how to do a skirt? Dang. So this is their Instagram. I'm gonna stalk them. Let's go to their website, actually. The thing is, we need local fashion industries, not only in the United States, but like everywhere. We need local fashion garment districts. New York is accredited as like one of the major ones that we can go to, but that's slowly fading out because the garment district is being bought out by the rich people. Hopefully Zoran can fix that, because he'd be fixing a lot of stuff. Next stop, the garment district, but it's not what it used to. It's not what it used to be. Wait, okay, let me look this up on YouTube, because I went on their website and it sent me to a link. And then it didn't send me anywhere. Oh, it sent me to the New York article thing. What? Okay, here's the website. Dang it. Duh. That was a process. This is where you learn to sew. Whoa, this would be so much fun. I have always dreamt of going to New York. I want to visit New York so bad. This would be fun. Making sewing more accessible than ever. Founded by Christine. Is she like Republican though? Should I not assume that, or should I assume that? Because if she was on Fox News, I don't know. But I mean, what she's doing seems great. A new chapter with Barbara. They welcomed a business partner called Barbara. Together, they will embark on an exciting new chapter as we expand our mission and make high-quality sewing and fashion classes accessible across the country. Wait, dude, this is okay, interesting. And then they got other staff members, fashion designers, costume designers. Whoa. Julia, June, Mary, Larissa, Emily, Heather, Mulaney, Elizabeth, Amy. I do want to know like their thoughts behind PR, because it is an interesting move to be covered on Fox News. I think Fox News is kind of like going off of the idea of Trump and his desire to bring back industries to the United States. So if you don't know, or if you're not aware, Trump was basically saying, we're going to put tariffs on certain suppliers, and it's going to make it harder for them basically to trade with us so that we can incentivize local production of stuff. That was a major summary. that was like a kid's summary of tariffs and what went on. But he just made it really hard, and he was putting tariffs on everyone, and then he was just emphasizing, guys, please make fashion here in the United States, but like there is no infrastructure for that right now. We need to really build it out, and that will take years and years of effort, a lot of investment, a lot of fashion leaders, a lot of fashion businesses, a lot of fashion designers, so that we can create a local fashion industry. I would love to see it personally. To be clear, I am not Republican. I think that's pretty obvious. If not, let me make it obvious once more. I am not Republican. I'm very much the most leftist of the left. That is all I'm going to say. I do support the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. I am trying to go to the socialism conference that's happening in September in Chicago. I will try to vlog it. But like when it comes to businesses, maybe they're not so politically attuned to stuff. Maybe they don't see fashion as political. Maybe they don't really understand the implications or like the undertones of being captured on Fox, or maybe they do know. That's why I'm kind of like, where does Christine stand? Like, why go on Fox Business, since Fox really echoes what Trump says, and Trump is a Republican and very mean to immigrants. So yes, and her team is not looking that immigrant like. I don't see a lot of immigrants over here, except like one person. I saw one person of color. So yeah, I wonder where she stands. But I think Fox News is basically just echoing what Trump wants. A local fashion industry. Who knew that to achieve a local sustainable fashion United States country, we would have to go the Republican way. Okay, let's see what other press. The New York Times. She's been on CNBC, the Wall Street Journal, Visa. Okay, they're on major sites. Maybe she was just trying to like get as many news outlets as possible. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, but like I am curious where they stand politically, because I would love to support them. I want to support local sustainable fashion efforts outside of the Republican sphere. So if she's outside of the Republican sphere of things, then I will support. Let me look her up actually on YouTube. I'm so curious. I'm actually so curious. I would cry if she like actually is a Republican. Oh God, that's the last thing I want. Fingers crossed that she's like a decent person. Please and thank you. For the love of God. We need more leftist sustainable fashion leaders that have successful businesses. And if she says that she wants to make these things accessible, then like you should have an open mind, no? You should be accepting of all people. Okay, this one was covered by BronxNet a year ago.
Welcome back. The New York Sewing Center provides a wide range of sewing and design classes, along with private one-on-one lessons for both children and adults. Their course offerings include Sewing 101, pattern making, crochet and jacket making, and more. One of their most popular classes is the Sip and Sew, oh yes please, designed for beginners aged 21 and older. Christine Frayling, the founder and CEO of the New York Sewing Center, joins me for a discussion about their programs. Christine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So as a founder and CEO, what inspired the creation of the Sewing Center?
I have been sewing my...
Can we ask her if she's Republican or not? Okay, I'm like ruining the vibes, but let's hear why she even created this in the first place.
My entire life. I learned when I was a child, when I was 8 years old, from my great aunt. I pursued a career in fashion design in the industry, and I always just wanted to go back to working with my hands, sewing, and I realized that, you know, I could teach others to do this, and it kind of just grew over time into what it is now. Initially, it started out with a few women in my basement sewing things together and private lessons with maybe children here or there, and then it grew into now being lots of teachers, lots of different classrooms.
And how has your experience in the New York City fashion scene, how has that influenced the way you teach and just the overall want to teach beginners?
Absolutely. I've been a fashion designer for years, and anytime that I do come up with a class or a style of class, I find that students really want to make something that they're proud of, they want to wear. There's always been the sewing classes that we had in school where maybe you made something and then you didn't really wear it, right? Or it didn't fit you right. So all of the classes are very fashion focused, meaning everything is really well thought out. What will people love to wear? What would somebody love to walk away with? So all of the classes, from my background of being a fashion designer and working in that industry, that's coming into all of the classes.
feel like you're taking me back to when I was in middle school, and I loved fashion design. Like that, I like sit there with little sketchbooks and even like did classes in middle school. It was never good, you know. But like you're proud of the work and it's fun to do, you know.
Yeah.
So what are some of the classes that you offer for both children and adults?
So we offer children starting at the age of 7 all the way to 18 years old. We have different groups. Fashion design, you know, we do fashion camps all summer long. Learn how to create your own wardrobe through learning to sew for the first time, which is extremely rewarding for a child. It's extremely rewarding for an adult to do the same. So we do actually have a couple of the same classes, but they're grouped together for children. So one of our most popular classes is our Sewing 101 course. It's learning to use the sewing machine for the very first time, and then you're learning to use a commercial pattern to make a pair of pants, a skirt, or a pair.
I need to take her classes. Wait, okay, I'm not gonna take specifically her classes because when am I gonna go to New York? I'm in Chicago. I'm not gonna go to New York to take sewing classes. That is way out of my scope. But I definitely do want to take more classes. I know someone that runs a sewing studio and they're open certain hours during the week, and I can pay for like a 2-hour spot. My eyelashes are like weird. I can pay to go to the sewing studio and they can let me use a space. I just have to bring my own sewing machine, but I can ask them tips. I mean, I feel like the place is going to be supervised. And then she actually runs she runs classes, and I can be like, hey, can you teach me certain things? And I can film videos in there. So you definitely have to like sign up for those. They're on Thursdays, I believe. I was doing research on it like 3 days ago. I do want to take some classes.
Of shorts, and we offer that for children starting at the age of 7, and they're grouped together 7 to 15 years old. And then we also have that as just an adult class as well, but kind of the same curriculum, but you know, really geared towards what a child would want to wear and make versus what an adult would want to wear.
That sounds so much fun. I'm immediately picturing like Gossip Girl, and there's like the one girl that's a fashion designer. That's immediately what I'm picturing. But you know, with that, why necessarily did you want to offer these classes to children, right? Because it is a different set when you're working with children versus adults. So why children? And also, what do you want them to learn beyond sewing?
Absolutely. You know, I learned how to sew when I was a child. It gave me extreme confidence. From a very young age, being able to make something with my hands that I could then wear and show to my friends, it built this sense of achievement within me that I kept with me throughout adulthood. It was a feeling of strong accomplishment, but also so rewarding, and it was so much fun. There's also an element of therapy when you're working with your hands and you're focused on something for hours and you're making something. And so it's just overall, it's very good for your health to have these sorts of hobbies. But the main reason I really wanted to do this with children was because it was such a huge part of my childhood, and it really did build confidence for me. And that's what I hope that it gives to all of the children that we do work with.
And with the children that you've worked with, what has the reception or the feedback been like from them?
They love it. You know, they get to make, you know, a drawstring backpack in one of the first classes that they then wear at school. We also let them, you know, kind of update the tote bag with different patches, and they get to personalize it themselves. And then they get to make clothing that they get to wear. And as I mentioned, it's usually a summer camp, a fashion camp during the summer months. So they get to show off what they're making, and it's really fun for them. Some of them bring a friend along, and they make friends throughout the summer from different schools too.
That sounds like so much fun. You know, as the creator of this yourself, how does it feel to kind of see this reaction and see this reception?
Okay, I'm kind of zoning out, so we're gonna call it there for that video. I do want to see more of the inside scoop of like how they operate, but they are saying, oh, it's sewing classes. It's almost like a sewing camp for children. I've never actually gone to sewing camps or camps in general. I wonder what camps are like. Can I still go as an adult or no? I'm kind of low-key cucked, huh? I can no longer go to sewing camps. Yeah, I would love to take some sewing classes, and hopefully this inspires you all to like learn how to sew. I'm just 29 years old, and I'm barely learning how to sew. One of my projects was to sew some PJs. I think the person doesn't want them anymore, so I think I'm gonna move on to a different project. I was gonna make a vest for someone else, so I can start that project. And then what else did I have? I want to make a dress. One of my next YouTube videos is actually going to be me upcycling material and making it into a dress. I don't want to leak too much, but I'm so excited for all the YouTube videos where I upcycle stuff and make interesting things. They actually have, okay, the New York Sewing Center actually has a YouTube channel. And the last time she uploaded was 2 years ago. Holy moly. She really loves fashion, huh? Okay. We're gonna move on though. I think it's just so interesting to like consider this. Like, if you were a sewing center, if you were on a PR run, would you go on Fox News? I personally wouldn't, because it doesn't work with my political ideas. But again, I am giving people the benefit of the doubt, because like some people are just fashion designers. They're not thinking about politics. They're not thinking about how they're affiliating themselves with maybe some presidents or people in power. Maybe they just want to be on a different platform, on a platform to reach people. And I assume that her demographic is people that have disposable income, and most likely the women going to her classes are like more middle-aged, have free time, have a stable career, or are a stay-at-home mom, or just want a hobby and have money. I don't think her demographic is like people that are struggling day by day to make it in life. So, I mean, if you're on Fox News, you can reach most likely the people that you want to reach, if you know what I mean. Some people just have too much free time. So maybe this is her demographic. Maybe it's gonna work out for her, but I personally wouldn't have done that. But fingers crossed she's not on the bad side. Okay, moving on. Talking about Jess. So I always like to focus on the positive. That is my love language. Solutions. I love to empower people that are focused on taking action. I love people that are proactive, that put their hands into the dirt, put their hands into the material, and actually do something. So Jess is actually doing something. She was covered on BBC News. Let me close out of this tab. So Jess was interviewed. So we are in the middle of the summer festival season, and for many organizers, a common sight since what is this sentence? We are in the middle of the summer festival season, and for many organizers, a common sight once revealers go home is the waste left behind, including many discarded tents. What? People leave behind their tents? But one woman is saving them from landfills by giving them a second life, turning them into bags, waterproof jackets, and streetwear? Dude, this is genius. I'm low-key broke. What's the next festival? Oh, I should have done this for Lollapalooza. It just happened in Chicago. So Jess went around collecting the tents, washed them, and says that she turns them into bright, bold pieces that look nothing like the muddy shelters they once were. I hope not. I really hope not. She says, my favorite thing is changing the way it's viewed by using designs to make it exciting. Whoa. According to the Association of Independent Festivals, about 250,000 tents are left behind at events every year, many too damaged for charities to salvage, which leads to tons of nylon heading to the landfills. Through O'Reilly's efforts, basically Jess, just call her Jess, don't call her last name. O'Reilly is like an auto shop place in the Midwest in the United States. I don't want to talk about O'Reilly's right now. I don't want to talk about cars. She's Jess. So through Jess's effort, she said many of your creations would have ended up going to the landfill, but because she saved them, that is not what it's saying. I'm trying to summarize. I don't like how it's written. Okay, she said many of her creations ended up going full circle. What does that mean? Many of her creations ended up going full circle? Okay. I don't know about that. Okay, we're moving on. Despite her following of 40,000 people on Instagram, Jess runs J.O. Studios from Manchester. Admitted businesses like hers. Wait, let me do an accent. Like hers. No, I can't do it. Fish and chips, Manchester. Admitted businesses like hers were under pressure from large from I can't do it. Like hers were under pressure from large firms like Chinese online marketplace Shein and Temu. No. Wait, how is she under pressure from Shein and Temu? She returned to Leamington over the weekend to attend art in the park and showcased her designs. Her main aim is to spread the message, but also make sustainability really cool, really accessible. Whoa, these are the things that she created. I'm gonna look her up on Instagram. I can't really see the pieces in that picture. Okay, let me see. What's your Instagram, girl? Oh, they didn't link it. God dang it. Where is her Instagram? 40,000 followers is not bad for making stuff on out of tents. Jess O'Riley. Tents. Let's see what comes up. Let's see. Dude, I love people that are just creative. I love it. They see waste and they make it something and they make money from it. Where is she? Oh, she even got covered in a different magazine. She's everywhere. Whoa. Get this thing out of here. Okay. What? They just leave the tents like that? Aren't tents like expensive? They're so expensive. What are people doing? They just don't. People just don't care, huh? Oh, here's an Instagram post. They didn't link her? Okay. Did you tag her? Okay. No. They just tagged themselves? I don't care about your BBC breakfast. Where is it? Hello? Where's Jessie? I'm gonna track this woman down. Do you see how hard it is to like track people down? Oh my god, I can't see my screen either. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna move my mic because I've been moving around. The audio may not have been the best today, but it's fine. I need the mic like right here, so bear with me. Wait, this is her Instagram. I found her. JO Studios.
Discarded festival tents. Here's how I make these tarpaulin pouches out of discarded festival tents that were destined for landfill. So we turn up to the festival salvage on the Monday morning after everyone has left. It's usually pretty depressing. There's kind of rubbish, tents, mattresses, you name it. The whole site is due to be bulldozed and everything sent to the landfill, so we're free to take whatever we want. We collect the tents, take the poles out, and then load them up in the van. Once I get them home, I cut all the trims off and sort them by colour before washing them and drying them. This is a really labour-intensive process, but it's so worth it for all the beautiful colours of fabric that I get afterwards. Plus, I feel much better knowing that it's not being sent to landfill. Then I take it to the studio, cut it down into panels and press them flat before cutting out my pattern pieces and stitching the pouches together. I also incorporate other recycled elements such as camp chairs and guy ropes in the pouches. I'm dropping another load on Thursday. They come in 3 different sizes and they're all made from recycled materials.
Whoa, what? Insta-follow. Do you see what I did there? What? She's so fun. I want to talk to her too. I want to interview her too. Dude, I have so many people I can interview. I have I have 5 people that I could do a podcast on right now that know me. And all the other connections I have, it's like a whole list of people that I can just jump on and do a podcast with. I just have to coordinate and be more organized. Tanya, you're here. You're finally here. What the heck? Welcome in. Today's a slow day. I haven't streamed in quite a while, so I am kind of like a surprise streamer right now for a lot of people. But dude, welcome in. I hope you've been enjoying the stream so far. I'm talking about sustainable fashion. Isn't this girl so cool? She does like garments out of tents. I had no clue that that's what people do. So I'm low-key just like stalking her and I want to like talk to her for my podcast. Dude, that would be so fun. I don't know if she has like a YouTube I like when people have YouTube channels because you can learn so much about them through their YouTube. I personally just love YouTube so much. Okay. About, wait, how old is she? J.O. Studio was founded by Jess at the start of 2023. The Manchester-based brand salvages tents from UK music festivals, reimagining and repurposing them to create unisex apparel and accessories. J.O. Studio aims to make people reconsider the impact their waste has on the planet, inspiring them to make positive changes to reduce their footwear. Or their footprint, I mean. What? Wait, I would love to see her actually do it in a video. Jess graduated from Manchester Fashion Institute with a first-class BA in fashion design in 2024. She now works as a resident designer in the Yard Atelier. Whoa. I can view her CV? Oh, no, I can't. Isn't it so neat? What the heck? Wait, how much are the pieces? So a festival bag... Whoa, $50 USD. Wait, I low-key want one. I don't need it, but I low-key want one. This one is a pouch. What? They're so colorful. They're all so unique. Like, each one's different. Whoa, so cool. $28. I like the price. The pricing is not too bad. I wonder if you can request... Oh, the color combo. 1, 2, 3? Oh, she standardizes the color combos. So I can choose 2. But, like, it's not going to look exactly like that, no. I think everything is different or unique. But you can get a general idea. Oh, the blue one's cool. It's just, I literally don't need anything anymore. I could have went shopping this weekend. I could have gone to the thrift store. Could have gone to the mall. I had so much free time. I was so used to streaming every day in the evening. And then I stopped to, like, rebalance and reset. And I just had so much free time. I did not know what to do with myself. And I thought about shopping, but it's like I have everything I need. I don't need anything. And then I get paid this Friday. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have so much money for the first time. And I'm not buying anything. And the temptation of my, oh god. The temptation to buy everything is there. It's just I can't just waste my money. I have to save it, you know? Even though I can spend it, I don't want to. I used to be a tent sticker. Oh, that's so cute. There's nothing... Wait, there's no such thing as the tent fairy. There's no such thing as the tent fairy? No, that's actually sad. I would like it to say there is such a thing as a tent fairy. I think she's a tent fairy. Right? I want to be a tent fairy. My alt account is called Moss Fairy. Oh, you have everything that you need? I thought you were agreeing with the Moss Fairy. I mean, with the tent fairy. But yeah, I have everything that I need to, and it's like, if I go to the store, what will I actually buy? It's just going to be a duplicate. I don't need more duplicates. I was cleaning out my closet. Everything is going to go to Depop. Honest to God. Honest to goodness, everything just can go. There's so much clutter in my room. It's crazy. Okay, so the next video that I wanted to watch with you guys was about decolonial fashion. I came across this YouTuber. I did not watch the video.
Out this, or rather when I like looked.
Okay. Maybe I did watch some of it. Because it's playing already. 20 minutes in. I did not watch it. I did not watch it. Dude, it's so good that you have everything that you need. That is such a privilege and such a beauty to have. When I moved out from my... I just want to say this quick thing before I watch the video because it's an important thought. I used to live in Montana and I lived in an apartment with this super cool roommate. She was around my age. And I used to work at a thrift store. And I had access to like the most beautiful things. And when it was time for me to move, I moved back to Illinois in Chicago. I'm currently here. I've been here for a couple years now. when I moved out of that apartment from Montana to move to Chicago, I didn't realize how much stuff I actually had. It was crazy how much I accumulated in 3 years. My eyelash has been bothering me, so my bad. I'm not trying to like pick at my eye, but the amount of things that I accumulated in that small apartment was so crazy. It was so crazy. And I was like so low income at the same time. I made like $1,200 a month. I was paid like $18 an hour. I barely worked 20 hours a week. So even just me buying those trinkets were like using up a lot of my budget. And the apartment was like a Section 8 governmental housing situation. So basically it was meant for low income people that just met the requirements. I was subleasing in place of someone else that had a medical issue, but they had to move home because of an emergency. So like the room was open, and just I was so happy for the timing of it. But I was able to move in for a couple months. By the end of my time in Montana, I saved so much money being in that Section 8 governmental housing thing, because it was only like $500 a month, and it was one other roommate. In Montana, like to have something so cheap like that, you would have to typically live with like 8 other people. I had roommates that like were horrible. So like by the end of my time in Montana, I was just so lucky. But like the amount of things that I had, man, was like, it was so bothersome. It was so bothersome. And then I donated like bags and bags and bags and bags and bags. I still think about it. I irked myself out for years. I don't want to be a hoarder. I don't want to be a hoarder. That's what I'm saying. And I've been in Chicago for 3 years now since then, and like I'm seeing the tendencies again. I have seen how much has piled up, and I think I need another like another moment, another time to be like, okay, let me just get rid of it. But I want to sell stuff. I don't just want to like throw it away, if that makes sense. I want to make money from the stuff that I have. But yeah, another 3 years have passed, and I'm back at my hoarding tendencies. You don't work right now? Dude, I didn't work for 2 years. For 2 whole years after moving away from Montana, I was living at home, and I could not find a job. And then I think it was the last 3 months that I've been working. Yeah, the last 3 months I've been working. It's been interesting. I've been so busy. And then I had a lot of realizations that I kind of filled up those 2 years with things. So that's why I'm so harsh with myself, because I'm like, what do these items represent? And I think it was just like filling a hole. I don't know if other people shop to fill a sense of emptiness or loneliness. I'm theorizing right now. I have no clue why other people shop. But like, it's so easy to go to the mall, or it's so easy to spend your money on like whatever. Medical issues, yeah, I totally understand. A lot of people don't work for a lot of different reasons. I'm sorry that's your case. I technically didn't work for 2 years because of like personal stuff, so I resonate. But yeah, the traditional job market right now also requires so much to get a general job. I did 3 interviews to get a minimum wage entry-level job. Wait, okay. I did 3 interviews for a minimum wage entry-level job. Is it not sad? The job market is so cooked. And I have a fashion degree. And I have a business degree. And I had to do 3 interviews to get paid less than $17 an hour in Chicago. Yeah. What was I talking about? Okay, overconsumption. I need to stop spending my money. They need to stop spending my money because they don't pay me enough. Freak it. Oh. Dang. Like my pillows, each of them are like $1 from the bins. I love the bins. Oh my god. Every time I have time off, like tomorrow I don't stream, I want to go to the bins. Right? But I'm not going to. So instead of going to the bins like I used to, I'm now watching YouTube videos, and I came across her this way. So the video says, what would traditional fashion look like without colonialism? So let's see what she has to say. I'm curious what she's going to teach us. Where's the audio at? Oh my. It's muted.
I spent 99 hours sewing this dress. That's 5,940 minutes of smocking, embroidery, beadwork, and sleep deprivation just to fail. See, this wasn't just a sewing project, but an investigation, an attempt to answer one ambitious question. What would traditional fashion look like without colonialism? Inspired by the alternate reality of Netflix's Bridgerton, which imagines a version of Regency England wherein racial discrimination has ended, I started to think about what the clothing of my ancestors would look like in this universe, as this is a world where the two main colonial forces of my northern Hutu heritage, the British and the Germans, are now post-race societies, opening up all kinds of possibilities for what fashion could look like if there was no imperial project. Without dominance and occupation, what would it look like for these fashions to be defined by diplomacy and symbiotic exchange? And after 99 hours of stitching, I realized that to remove the context that shapes these fashions is to remove the fashions altogether. It appears the effects of colonialism are so far-reaching that it becomes almost impossible to untangle the colonized from the colonizer, particularly when the history of our world, as written by the victors, has never afforded the losers much space to speak. This leaves us in the awkward position of not being able to fully abandon our colonial traditions, lest we abandon some of the only connections we have to those of the past.
Okay, she's cooking right now. I do want to provide personal context too. I am the colonized and the colonizer, because I have like indigenous blood and I also have European blood. I have a French grandparent in there somewhere. That's why I'm learning French. But I'm also like, and I have a lot of indigenous vibes. I mean DNA, not vibes, DNA. So I have more European though than indigenous. So I'm definitely more of the colonizer than the colonized. But I'm a Chicana, Mexican American, and a lot of Mexicans are like mixed blood, you know, and a lot of Americans come from a melting pot of different cultures. So I do resonate. We're grappling with both the colonized and the decolonized parts of the world, and we're deeply entrenched in both. I do want to be more decolonized though. I am learning how to become more decolonized. It's a learning journey. I've been trying to detangle myself from colonial tactics and theories, and I've read a lot of books. I've changed a lot of my habits, but I'm still learning myself, especially because I have privileges. Tanya, it's so cool that you're French Canadian. I want to learn how to speak French so bad. And I used to live in Montana near the border, near its border. Like Canada is right there. I could have like become a Canadian if I had decided to cross a border. Illegally, obviously, because I don't know how to do it legally. How do you like move to Canada legally? I kind of don't want to be in the United States anymore. Also, okay, maybe this is an easier question. What time is it in Canada right now? It must be MST time. Or that's the assumption that I have, because where I was at, it was MST time in Montana. It must be like 8 p.m. for you, right? Or like 10. It's either 8 or 10. I think it's 8 p.m.
Wationgo calls this the cultural bomb, the systematic destruction of native culture that turns the archive into a wasteland filled with unmarked graves and silences, where the only thing we can be certain is the cause of death. At first, my approach was that if I could not change the history, then I could ignore it altogether, hence the fantasy, hence the Bridgerton. But now I've come to realize that that's not only impossible, but actually a dishonor to the creative agency of those before us, who weren't just passively consuming an imposed style, but actively co-producing it. So instead of changing history, I want to change my relationship to it. This is how Bridgerton taught me to stop worrying and love the bomb. What does it mean to love the bomb? Okay. To love these gaps in history, these contested traditions? For me, it's understanding love as a creative and critical practice. Loving a colonial tradition is not about accepting it as authentic and the only truth, but understanding that these traditions are responses and tools for managing life in the face of disruption, whether that's economic, political, social, or environmental. To love the bomb is to remove its power over me as a totalizing force. I can respect and accept the reality of its destruction, but I don't have to let that control me. To quote Watyonga, we must see ourselves as the creators of language, not its victims. We must reclaim our languages, our cultures, our histories, and our identities. This to me means that to reclaim our histories is not only to find out what was left out of it, but to take back what we were told was given to us, to recognize ourselves as creative agents, as co-producers, to say that now this is just as much ours, that we have toiled, that we have bled, that we have sweated, we have constructed and upheld, and we will do with it as we wish. This is about a failed Bridgerton costume project, so we need to go back to the beginning to track how I got here. For 15 seconds this year, Bridgerton was positioned in online discourse as an example of science fiction that leaned into the realm of Afrofuturism.
What? I've never heard this. I have kind of tried to watch Bridgerton. I'm not a fan myself, but I love the clothing, like the costume designer. She was working overtime. So this is actually really fascinating. Example of science fiction that leaned into the realm of Afrofuturism. It's 10 p.m. Yeah, are you like, is it MST though? Or MT? What's the like thing that ends at in the time zone? Why am I so hyper fixated on time zones right now? But let's see what she has to say about Afrofuturism. I want some books about this. I'm gonna look that up tomorrow. Afrofuturism books.
For how it imagined a world where the technology of race, thereby racism, has been removed. Around this time, I had just begun reading about critical fabulation, a research and writing tool proposed by Saidiya Hartman for recounting marginalized history. This method combines archival research, critical theory, and imagination, or speculation, to find that which cannot or has not been said. We cannot trust official histories alone, as Hartman explains, because it pledges to be faithful to the limits of fact, evidence, and archive, even as those dead certainties are produced by terror. This means trying to figure out how we can recount the histories of those left out of it without replicating the violence that excluded them in the first place. So yes, we take into account the colonial record, the missionary diaries, the various conquerors' journal entries, but we also have to look at the information and the types of information that have been made invalid by that colonial record, like oral traditions or material culture. While Hartman presents this as a writing, storytelling tool, the Bridgerton as Afrofuturism discourse presented to me the opportunity to apply it to fashion research. It wasn't so much that I wanted to design a costume that could plausibly exist within the show, but that the show helped me make the connection between speculation and fashion research. Perhaps by removing the silencing conditions of history or facts of the archive, I could be free then to adjust my perspective, my framing, to see, or perhaps hear things in new light. I'm so sorry, this metaphor is getting messed up. But basically, this was an opportunity to change my understanding in the way that I was envisioning things, to maybe look and find things that I hadn't seen before. Oh my god, this metaphor gets worse, but I hope you get what I mean. And I think the advantage of fashion here is that it also meets Hartman's requirements for alternative knowledge sources, particularly those that have been invalidated by the Western canon. Human-made objects, that of material culture, our dress, our architecture, our crafts, our pottery, our food, both shape and are shaped by the individuals and societies making and using them. It then provides a knowledge of lived experience, of the everyday life, of ordinary people. And from here we can begin to...
Oh my gosh, she's so smart. I'm gonna have to rewatch this video like a couple times because she's cooking. Afrofuturism. I think if I read some more books on it and do more academic research on it, just like reading articles by academics basically, I think I'll better understand the context. Dude, she's such an amazing designer, and the way that she filmed this is so beautiful, and the way that she's explaining the concepts are amazing. It's just I'm retaining half of it because I don't know what I'm really listening to, but we're learning. Oh my gosh, we're learning. This is great.
To at least infer the conscious and unconscious desires, beliefs, and challenges of the people we seek to access in a way that I think is just incredibly tangible. To dress the body, even under obligation, under force, still requires a degree of agency. There are still choices to be made about why this shirt and not that one, or which color tie and what cut of pant. We shape fashion just as much as it shapes us. So these garments are not only their physical attributes, but they're layered with meaning, context, function, and choice. And the aim of this practice, as Hartman asserts, is not to give voice to the slave, but rather to imagine a realm of experience. I'm not attempting to speak on behalf or for anyone, but instead to use the tools available to me to try and listen through these silences and to reframe these gaps, these absences, from dead ends to an open space for creative generation.
Bridging the gaps of dead ends to an open space for creative generation. Whoa. I wanna learn from her so much more. Tomorrow as well. Note to self, Afrofuturism books, and listen to all her videos. I'm gonna listen to all her videos. You can tell she reads. Look at all the articles in the back, like all the papers in the back. She's such a queen. Oh my goodness. She's such a freaking queen. Whoa. I want to learn how to make artisanal fashion down the line in my journey as a fashion designer. Dude. She slays so bad. No, so good. She slays so good. What's the right word? She slays.
So the subject of my research, of my inquiry, is the khempe, which is one of the most iconic garments in northern Sotho dress. So the khempe is a puff-sleeved cotton pleated blouse that was introduced through German missionary intervention in the 19th century. This became standardized dress for both Christian and non-Christian Sotho women, and it's generally seen as having eroded whatever existed before. But that reading has never really sat right with me. All anyone can tell me is that this garment is the result of missionary influence, but no one ever really explains how. The missionaries enforced specific guidelines on sleeves and seam lines. Were there seminars dictating what would exactly be the right silhouette to save the souls of their heathen subjects? Or did they just end their requirements at Christian conventions of modesty? Before the arrival of the Berlin Mission Society in the 1860s, Sotho women generally went topless unless married early. And while you can claim a European influence in the requirement for coverage, there are just too many aspects of the khempe that deviate from the contemporary fashion of the time, and this goes well into the beginning of the 20th century. Because we know that colonial fashions are never a straightforward instance of assimilation, I wanted to investigate which parts of these garments are actually Sotho, which of these elements speak to vernacular design language and history, or what was the reason for how these elements would come to be Sotho. One is always tempted to assume that colonial subjugation was an all-assuming, all-encompassing force, when really the process of conversion and assimilation was defined by constant bargaining, adaptation, and negotiation.
Colonial force happened by constant bargaining, adaptation, and negotiation. Whoa. Wow, okay. I'm thinking about what she just said. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is a lot to unpack. We're learning, guys. Yes, we're nodding, we're learning.
The Berlin Mission began its mission under the lens of romanticism and pietism. Both of these intellectual approaches emphasized individual faith and creative spirit over formal rules and procedural doctrine. They saw their roles as mediators and interpreters of African life, where their task was to intimately understand African language, culture, and custom, to find the points of convergence between African and Christian spirituality. It was their understanding that they had to make Christianity familiar and appealing to the locals. In general, missionaries in South Africa were not successful through the persuasive word of the Bible and God alone. Often, they won converts over through providing resources, land, or jobs.
Interesting. Well, okay. I think this video is beautiful. We got through 9 minutes of it, and it's a 30-minute video, and I have to jump off like in 5 minutes. I have to go. I lost track of time, and I should only be streaming from 7:30 Central Time to 9:30 Central Time, which is 10:20 Eastern Time. So for Tanya, if you want to jump on in the future, I stream your time from 8:30 to 10:30. It's pretty late for you, huh? So I appreciate you jumping on. But I do have more stuff to talk about. So if you want to watch this video, it is called "What Would Traditional Fashion Look Like Without Colonialism?" It's by Khensani Mohlatlole. I don't know how to say her last name. By her, the beautiful queen. I will be rewatching this for sure. But one of the last things I wanted to talk about was how I find it so insidious that a lot of brands are sending freaking mics in PR packages. So Miu Miu launched a new fragrance and they sent mics to the freaking this is the craziest thing that's happening. I just found it funny, but also like really kind of off-putting. Because, like, why are they sending mics? So, this is the perfume. This is the cards. It's called Miutine. And then it has a mic. So, if you make a video on it, you have a branded mic. What are we doing? What's this era of influencing?
Passcode is in this envelope.
Holy moly. Let's watch it on TikTok. Wait, no, what is that? Oh god. Okay, it's loading. I feel like my browser is acting like how I'm feeling. Chaos.
I love this blue. They sent over their newest. Some of the notes, it has wild strawberry gardenia, so it's a little bit floral, and then brown sugar and vanilla. I'm gonna undo the lock so you can give it a smell.
You can't really hear it.
I could never get my lock to open. Let's see. Okay, got it. There's like a little mini microphone in here. Look how cute that is. I have to set this up. Okay, here's what it sounds like.
What?
Also, to go along with the microphone, they included some questions and prompts. So I'm gonna smell the fragrance, and then we can get some of these.
Sorry.
Like.
I'm trying to get this to work. Okay, now we're good. We're cooking. That was a process. Okay.
From Miu Miu came in this mystery box. There's a lock, so I'm thinking that the passcode is in this envelope. I love this blue. They sent over their newest fragrance. Some of the notes, it has wild strawberry gardenia, so it's a little bit floral, and then brown sugar and vanilla. I'm gonna undo the lock so we can give it a smell. This is bringing me back to high school. I could never get my lock to open. Let's see. Okay, I got it. There's like a little mini microphone in here. Look how cute that is.
Why do we need that? So I think their hope is that when they do more content in the future, they use this mic, and then it's like more advertising, more marketing for the brand. We don't need it, huh? I like how you're straightforward. You don't need it. It's true, but yeah, it's like free marketing. Or they want it to be like more marketing, because they do be knowing these influencers be yapping. If they sent me a perfume and a mic and I didn't have a good mic, I would use that low key, but I would never accept like PR packages because it's just overconsumption. Whoa, dang! I feel like the marketing team is really locked in.
to set this up. Okay, here's what it sounds like with the mic.
Wow.
Also to go
And it's a good mic one. It's a good mic. This is a good one too.
along with the microphone, they included some questions and prompts. So I'm going to smell the fragrance and then we can get to some of these.
They have questions and prompts? What? What's the questions?
This is what the bottle looks like. It is so pretty. Ooh. Okay, right off the bat, it is floral, but it's not too overpowering because I don't love a super florally scent. It's definitely very sweet and girly. Let's do some of these questions, so hopefully that helps me explain it a little better. The best occasion to wear Miutine is definitely date night. Okay, next question. Define Miutine in 3 words. Go. Sweet, flirty, and feminine. Okay, I'm gonna end it with this last one. 1 word for the way Miutine makes you feel. I'm gonna have to say girly. Thank you so much, Miu Miu. I don't even know what I did to deserve this, but I'm so grateful. I got PR from Miu Miu.
Anyways, I found that interesting. Found that very interesting where influencing is going nowadays. I low-key wish I thought of that first, but I'm not a major company. These poor influencers. I feel bad for the influencers. They're just kind of like being used as like a marketing ploy. But they do have free will. They do have free will, no? I'm just so confused. I'm just so confused what's happening with brands. And this one's a very interesting collab. So I don't know if you guys know about Nami Matcha, but Nami Matcha is made by the one and only queen, your mom, Ashley, on YouTube. I have been watching Ashley for such a long time. She is such a cozy, wholesome YouTuber. And she's in New York right now. She does a lot of content with her sister, with her siblings. And she has had so much success with Nami Matcha, her matcha brand that she took years and years and years to make. Let me look her up so you can know who she is. But yeah, she's so lovely. I watch her all the time. She doesn't really do YouTube as often as before because she's gone all in with her matcha business. But I think she's like 24, 25 years old. Yeah, she just does a lot of fun content. I respect her hustle. And she literally invited us in the process of making her matcha brand. I haven't personally bought it because I don't really have that much money and I actually don't really need to make my own matcha. What's it called? I just buy the Taza? I think it's called Taza. What's it called? Tazi matcha liquid, I think it's called. And then I just mix it with almond milk. Yeah. Oh, Tazo. I get this from Target. It costs $6, so it's a super affordable alternative. And I don't even know how to make real matcha. So I'm like not the demographic for her product because she sells a powder and stuff. But she actually has collaborated with Fenty Beauty. So they're selling like a lip gloss, the matcha powder, and this little cute thingamajigger. And I'm showing this because capitalism can get you. Because, oh my gosh, emotions are a real thing. I am so invested in your mom, Ashley. She's up in the corner right here. And then look at this. It says, unlock 40% off. To claim, tell us where you're at in your matcha journey. 1, I'm new to matcha. 2, I'm still finding out what I like. 3, I know my matcha. Here for Ashley. So I would have pressed this one. And it's 40% off. And it comes with a whisk. Comes with a matcha. And comes with another matcha. So it'd be $666. And then if I buy the beauty thing, I get like a little cute accessory. It's just I don't need anything. Why do I have to become so invested in YouTubers? That's the thing with me. I love YouTubers so much, but I need to keep my money in my pocket. It's just okay. I'm so conflicted. That's why I'm showing this. I'm so conflicted. I want to make a decision of like, do I need the lipstick? Do I need the keychain? No. Do I want the matcha? Kinda. But like, will I actually know how to use it? I don't even have a matcha bowl. Like, you have to whisk it in a bowl. She sells the bowls, but I don't want to spend like $100. But these are the moments I'm like, dang, they almost got me. And they're still almost getting me because I'm on the freaking website. This collaboration just came out like a couple days ago. Dang. You should watch her though. If anything, you should watch her. I am subscribed to her, not on my like streaming account. But if you want to follow my YouTube, Sustainable Amor. That is my YouTube account. It's called Sustainable Love. One more person subscribed to me while I was streaming. What the heck? Whoa, that's so cool. People discover me through streaming, and then they follow me, but I don't get a notification. So I don't know who followed me. If you're watching the stream and decided to support me that way, thank you so much. I just don't get the notification like I do on Twitch. But yeah, I go live on YouTube as well, for those curious. And YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm live on Twitch. I forgot to say that in the beginning of my stream today. And I stream for like 2 hours. So next stream will be Wednesday from 7:30 to 9:30 Central Time. I'll also be talking about like news and stuff. And I just came out with a new video. It's a Q&A. So if you want to learn about me, you should watch the Q&A. I actually filmed that before I dyed my hair. And now it's all dyed, it's all normal, but I low-key want to refilm that video just because my hair was horrible, my makeup was horrible. That was the second time that I had filmed it, and I was kind of in a bad mood, so I could have been in a better mood. But things happen. I will definitely update that video in like 6 months. Yay, Tanya, you subbed. Thank you so much. Dude, that was fast. You found that fast. I appreciate it. Dude, YouTube is my baby. YouTube is my baby. So yes, I appreciate it. Tanya, oh my god, what the heck. Yay. But one last thing that I do want to talk about. Maybe you guys have heard of the stuff that's been happening with AI. Have you guys seen the brown water situation? There's brown water coming out of sinks if you live near data centers. I follow Perfect Union. I don't know if you guys have heard of Perfect Union, but they're like a media organization that posts a lot of things that are happening across the country, and they keep me so informed.
Someone's tap water now because of a data center. Austin Newsom lives across the street from one of the 2 Amazon data centers being built in Louisa County, Virginia. Since construction began a year ago, Austin has experienced 24/7 noise, ginormous dust clouds, and brown, dirty water. Newsom says he wasn't contacted by Amazon or the county during the development and zoning process. He was only informed about the data center right before construction began. Now he can't even leave because no one will buy his home. Amazon is currently seeking permission to dump 28,000 gallons a day of treated cooling water from its data centers into Louisa County's natural water sources. This is concerning because Virginia does not currently test data center discharge water for forever chemicals. Forever chemicals have been linked to cancer, decreased fertility, and a weakened immune system. But unfortunately, Austin Newsom and Louisa County aren't alone. We went with AOC to rural Georgia, where residents near Meta's data center can't drink the water from their own homes. 10% of the community's
Oh my god, they can't even drink the water from their own homes. That is mind-boggling. Huh? Oh my god.
Daily water use goes to this data center, and they're on track for a total water deficit by 2030.
They're on a water deficit for 2030. This is so depressing. I do not want to end the stream this way. Oh my god. Why? That is, look at the water on there. Dude. You guys want to know a fun story before I head off? It's actually not a fun story. It is very gross. I used to work at NASCAR. I was like a office coordinator / executive assistant because they were having a race for the 4th of July weekend. And there was actually conversations about a data center being built next door to the NASCAR offices. And I really wanted to go to the council meetings where they had public hearings for that topic, and I wanted to go so bad. I wanted to speak out. I wanted to say data centers are bad. freak AI. It's gonna be really expensive for the residents because the price of water and electricity is going to go up. It's going to create a lot of weird noises in the area. It's going to deplete our resources. It's going to extract more from a already poor, low-funded city. And I just don't really like that we're using AI as a tool for supposedly constructive purposes. You know what I mean? You know how people are like, oh, I use AI for homework. That's not a constructive use. Like, I feel like AI can be used for like efficiency in some places where humans can't do that. Like, AI could be good to do things that humans are not capable of doing, right? But like, if it's taking away jobs, if it's taking away tutors, if it's taking away education from us, which most likely it is, because are we really thinking if we Google stuff on AI, if we look it up on AI, ChatGPT? Is that making sense? I'm sorry, I have to like jump off soon. But okay, here's another example. My brain is getting jumbled. I went to school before AI was a thing. I graduated college back in 2019, and then AI was released a couple of years ago. So I was never able to prompt something in ChatGPT or in any other platform to do homework. So I never had a time in my life where AI and academics mixed, and I'm really grateful for that. And then I started actually using ChatGPT when it got first released because I didn't know the negative impact it had on the environment. But from my personal experiences, I became less of a critical thinker because I relied on ChatGPT to think for me, to give me the reasons, the points that I was trying to come up with. So I became reliant on it. I stopped questioning things. I stopped looking things up in the books. I stopped looking up academic articles. And it made me personally more dumb. So I speak from a personal perspective that I think it damaged my own intellectual abilities and my own ability to be curious and a good writer. And hopefully that's not the case for everyone, but I think because of my experiences, it can make you more of a lazy thinker, more of a lazy researcher or student in general in life, no matter if you're in high school, college, or just like a general person. Like, I think it works for you, but like there's just some things that you should be thinking on your own. Like, it's good to read books, it's good to like read an article, it's good to like question and think and take your time to like erase and get mad that you're not finding the answer on Reddit. You know, like I love Reddit because it was the way that I found a lot of thinking points. But now I feel like a lot of kids, a lot of people are just like, ChatGPT, give me the answers. They're not discovering the beauty of Reddit anymore. But yeah, you don't like AI, Tanya? That's an ethos that remains with me. Because I realized I was just like not thinking like I was before. I was just not the person I was before. So I stopped using it. And it's so difficult now. Like the urge to get on there is so real. And it's so difficult to like come up with ideas, to come up with articles, to be original without being reliant on the machine, on artificial intelligence. And then when I see the consequences of AI like this, the brown water, there is a farmer that was saying that his cows were being born without life, stillborn births. Is that what it's called? Stillborn? They're born dead, essentially. Sorry if that was triggering. But a lot of animals are being affected by being near data centers. I don't know what the impact of being pregnant near a data center will be. I hope those babies come out beautiful and healthy. It's just, I think we're in such a new phase of AI and of the effects of data centers that we will only know the impact in like a couple years from now. And I'm really worried for the well-being of the next generation, both intellectually, physically, mentally. The environment is gonna suffer a lot if we don't mitigate it. So that's why I found it really important to like speak out to my city council. And I know how to speak at city councils. Like I know how to like talk within the 2 minutes that they give for the public hearings. It's just I wasn't able to because it was a conflict of interest, because if I had gone and spoken, I would have lost my job. But thankfully I quit my job at NASCAR like a month in. But it was too late for me to like continue going to the public hearings because they sadly passed the data center proposal. So like when I quit, the thing had already passed. It was approved. So like what am I supposed to do now? Protest in front of the council? Like the council building? Like what am I supposed to do now? I feel like I'm trying to think about what to do, but my local environmental group for that, they are tied up with the politician that supported the data center build, and he's an environmentalist. So we're kind of cooked. The one Latino leftist on the council who's supposed to be on our side, who's supposed to care about the environment, said yes to the data center in the sake of jobs. So I don't really know what to do as a citizen, but I will always emphasize the point of like, we don't need this, and it's not supporting our well-being. And I'm just really concerned for low-income people dealing with the repercussions. Like now he has to buy water from Walmart or like water bottles all the time, and if your budget is really tight, golly, that's gonna hurt. Also, maybe you guys have been staring at my Harry Styles pillow. That's a man. Sorry, that was a tangent. This is a man in a ballerina. Anyways, I think you guys are staring at that. Okay, to end off, one of the things that I want to research is how to do aluminum foil dresses. That's a pivot. But have you guys ever thought about like doing dresses out of weird materials? I actually really want to know how to make a dress out of aluminum foil. That would be so fun.
Hi there, welcome to the Upcycled Design Lab. If you're new here, my name's Cindy and I craft using recycled and repurposed materials to give you ideas on ways to make and create more economically and ecologically. I'm also working on a trash fashion wedding dress that's primarily made out of aluminum, soda, and beer cans, and also some empty chip bags. So if you've seen the other two videos, you've already seen this dress, but
Dude, the way that she's so talented is so inspiring, right? Like, look at the flowers. It's so beautiful. And she, like, legit acted like the foil was a material. Like, she stitched that. Do you see the stitches on there?
bodice is made out of the chip bags with some aluminum can sequins on it. And then the skirt is also made out of a different type of chip bag fabric. And I've got these lacings on the back for a little bit of versatility.
Oh my god, there's lacing in the back. Wait a minute. I'm gonna buy aluminum foil. Aluminum? I can't say the word. I'm just gonna say foil. I'm gonna go buy the foil this tomorrow. Tomorrow. I don't even know what day it is. Today's Monday. Yeah, Tuesday I'm gonna go buy it.
And the back straps are made with the rings from the aluminum cans. So today I'm going to be showing you where I am on the overskirt that goes onto the dress, and it is made primarily out of the aluminum cans, as I mentioned before. So the first thing, of course, is that I needed a lot of aluminum cans, and I have been doing other crafts with aluminum cans, so I have kind of a system of how I break down my aluminum cans. If you're interested in how I break down my aluminum cans into four...
Whoa, okay, I don't even know if I'm gonna do the aluminum cans because that requires some technique. If she's making me go to a different video, That's like doing extra credit homework to just do like the project. I don't know if I'm gonna try the aluminum, the what's it called? The cans. Dang. Why are people so talented? This is crazy good. I want to learn from her. It is crazy. Yeah, it's so great.
That shows you 3 different ways to flatten aluminum cans if you'd like to know more about that for some of your own craft projects. I needed to cut the pieces into tiered shapes so that the dress would flare out toward the bottom. And so I had to do a little bit of math and calculating, but in the end I ended up with 5 pieces long, and they just got continually wider as I went along. So they're kind of pie-shaped pieces. And because I was cutting so many cans, I did cut them on my Cricut cutting machine.
I've heard so much great things about this machine. It's just it costs so much. I just have scissors. Okay, so she layers them together. She's layering. I don't have time to watch this video. Like, oh, it's a 5-minute video. Okay, we do have time. I thought it was like a 15 one. Okay, she's layering. Wait, what's on it though? Wait, okay, maybe not skip too much forward. Okay, my bad, guys. I have ADHD. I skip forward. It's disorienting. My bad. Let me go back.
So that the dress would flare out toward the bottom. And so I had to do a little bit of math and calculating, but in the end I ended up with 5 pieces long, and they just got continually wider as I went along. So they're kind of pie-shaped pieces. And because I was cutting so many cans, I did cut them on my Cricut cutting machine. They're fairly simple cuts, and they're straight cuts, and the aluminum is quite easy to cut with scissors if you're working with it on a project of your own. But because I had so many pieces, I did use my Cricut cutting machine. If you're interested in that information, how you cut aluminum cans on a Cricut cutting machine, I also have a video tutorial on that. Once I had all my pieces cut, I used a little bit of painter's tape to temporarily tape them together, and I wanted a little bit of a gap between the pieces of metal so that it wouldn't be totally stiff. I had a quilter's grid that I used just for the spacing part of piecing the pieces together, and I knew that the aluminum can pieces were going to get pretty unruly, so I made the skirt in 8 different tiered shaped pieces. And once I had them taped together with the painter's tape, I went back over that with a long strip of my metal tape, and I put that on both sides to attach.
Whoa, what? Oh god, now I feel like I need that machine. Okay, what's my game plan if I make a dress out of aluminum foil? Okay, I don't have her technique, but I do have relentlessness. I will not stop trying until I get it done.
Attach all the aluminum can pieces together into 8 tiered pieces. I could have left the skirt this way, but I wanted to add a few more design features. I wanted to add some embossing to the front panels and some overall texture to the entire skirt. I haven't done a lot of embossing, but I have embossed a few different projects using the aluminum cans, and it's just kind of a satisfying, fun process to work with the metal and see your design emerge. So I just used a paper template that I temporarily glued onto the metal.
That's so smart. Okay, this is the idea that I am gonna take away. Using like a stencil and then pressing into the aluminum foil the shape that I want. Whoa.
And then I just went to work with my embossing tool. For the last part of the texturizing, I used an extra paving square that we had in our yard, and I chose one that was purposely kind of rough on the top. And then I used a rubber mallet on both sides of the metal to make sort of a hammered look. And it also helped to flatten out the pieces so that they didn't have any kind of a curve at the bottom.
So cool.
And where the seams were, they kind of tended to curve up too. So adding the hammered texture also helped to flatten out the pieces and make them more uniform. Once I had all the texture on, I was ready to piece the whole thing together. And at that point, I was a little nervous because it was getting very big and the pieces are kind of stiff, and I wasn't exactly sure what was going to happen next. There are still a couple of things that I need to do to finish up the skirt. I need to tape the front edge, and I think I may tape the bottom of the skirt as well. I knew I needed a waistband, and I did end up using some fabric for that. I just glued that on and then taped over the top of the edges just to match the taping of the tiered pieces of the skirt. But I do have one question for you, that if you're following this whole crazy trash fashion series, I'm curious whether you like the little scalloped beadwork on the bottom of the skirt, or if I should just leave it plain.
Oh, scallop beads or no beads? I would say no beads. It's more elegant with no beads.
So let me know what you think on that. Once again, there are a ton of resources in the description box if you're interested in more of the techniques that I used for this skirt. And you can click or tap the screen now for more aluminum can projects. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already joined my YouTube family, I would love for you to click that subscribe button and follow along every week. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you back here soon in the lab for my next experiment.
What? That's so cool. Definitely gave her a like. 3 years ago. And she only has 123 likes? She's so talented. Does she upload? Oh, she needs more support. 84,000 subbies. Oh, she uploaded 6 days ago. Whoa. Dude, she's so talented. She's the craftiest of the crafters. Yeah, that is so beautiful. OMG. I want to make more fun, creative YouTube videos, because right now they're all like super, like hyper personal videos. They're more like vlogs, and they're more about me. And I love that, but it's like, it's more about fashion, right? It's more about talking about environmental stuff. It's talking about like social issues. Oh my god, I got another subscriber. 507 subbies. What the heck? Is that a Twitch lurker? Thank you so much if you're lurking on Twitch. I really support the people that oh god, what the heck? I really am grateful for anybody that's supporting. I love YouTube so much. So if you subbed, thank you. Yeah, it was you. It was you, Tanya, and it was like someone else. You were 506. You were my 506 sub. And then someone else subscribed. So it's 507. I do have like Twitch lurkers, and then I have YouTube lurkers. But yeah, everybody, you guys are amazing. You guys are here to learn and to like spend time about this topic. It's so fun. And yeah, I want to make more videos about DIY stuff. Make it really fun to watch. And I don't want the videos to be super long. I want them to be like 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to keep making YouTube videos. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream right here. This has been fun. I do have to get ready for bed. I wake up tomorrow at 6 in the morning, and it's 10 p.m. Central Time for me. But I think I'll be chatting. I think I'll be chatting in the Alveus chat. If you guys don't know, I watch a Twitch stream called Alveus Sanctuary, and I just chat in there when I'm ready to go to sleep. It's like one of the last things that I look at before I go to sleep. So, yes. Thank you, Marissa, for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to make this community better and trying to stay true to my values, and I am just a person learning along the way. So I'm trying to get better. And thank you for all the support y'all have shown. It is a journey for sure, to keep improving, to keep being sustainable, to keep being more ethical, to keep just being a kind human. And yes, Tanya said you did great. Which we're trying to have fun. So if you know any like videos around Susty fashion, anything that's concerning you around the environment, let me know. You can send me links. If there's any like social justice-y conversations, let me know. This is not only for Tanya, but like for anyone watching, lurkers, watchers. If you have anything that you want to send me, you can send me a whisper on Twitch, or you can email me. My email is in my YouTube description. It's where is it? It's right here. It's in my about page, sustainableamor@gmail.com. So if you want to reach out that way, you're more than welcome to. I also have a Discord. You can join the Discord. You can find the Discord in my About Me page for both Twitch and YouTube. So if you want a chill place to contact me, it's just do not spam me. Do not spam me on Discord or I will get pissed off. Please keep it chill on Discord for the love of God. I just one message at a time. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'll be back on Wednesday. Wednesday, what time? 7:30 Central Time. More Susty fashion, more environmentalism, more social justice stuff. Okay. Bye guys. Take care. Have a good night. See ya. Peace. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Bye-bye. I think there's a lag. I'm just gonna keep saying bye. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Bye, guys.